Today, I'm going to talk about equanimity. And I'm going to open with a quote from Master Han Shan De Ching. I call him Silly Mountain. That's what Han Shan De Ching means. He says, "When we are empty of ego, we can carry on in calm acceptance of life's varying events. When we cease making prejudicial distinctions, gentle or harsh, beautiful or ugly, good or bad, a peaceful stillness will permeate our minds." Han Shan was a historical teacher in the 1600s, and I like him a lot. He's not to be confused. There's another teacher named Han Shan who they call Cold Mountain instead of Silly Mountain, and they're not the same person. But actually they do have this in common, that they were viewed as crazy people. Han Shan was viewed as a crazy person. He spent a lot of time just living in the woods, and he traveled around teaching rather than having his own monastery, and he would teach, teach in the wilderness, teach in the city, teach all sorts of places, right? And so it's kind of what I like about him. But he was viewed as a crazy person. He had a reputation for being gentle and kind. So those are good things. And in this quote, he was talking about equanimity. And that's a quality we do talk about in Buddhism. I think it kind of gets the short end of the stick, though. We spend a lot of time talking about mindfulness, awareness, compassion, kindness, right? Insight, and we may even talk about things like the six perfections: generosity, virtue, diligence, patience, concentration, and wisdom. We might even talk about those things, but we're not usually talking about equanimity, although it's not really a word I knew before I started studying Buddhism, and I think it's a word a lot of people don't know. I think the same thing about things like the perfection of diligence. We don't talk about diligence in our society, right? Equanimity is a word a lot of people don't know unless they study Buddhism. And so because of that, some people like to use the word patience, and I don't like to use the word patience for equanimity. A lot of times when we're talking about things like the perfection of patience, what we're really talking about is the perfection of patience and equanimity. So patience is just that trait that helps me keep it together when I'm in line at the store for a really long time and I'm thinking, God, why is this taking so long? Why is that person ahead of me using a coupon, right? Or writing a check, heaven forbid. And patience is also the thing I need when I tell my kids to clean their room and it's been half an hour and they still have barely started, right? I need patience or I'm going to get upset. So, equanimity is broader than that, right? We could say that patience is part of equanimity because it is, but it's broader than that. Equanimity is defined as calm acceptance of life's varying events. Calm acceptance of life's varying events. It's the attitude that helps us accept things as they are and keep a calm and even mind. It's equanimity that stops us from falling apart when things get hard. It stops us from just giving up, right? It involves trying to view things as equal and not being quite so attached to our circumstances or desires. It involves letting things be as they are, letting the universe unfold as it should. Equanimity is also our antidote to the poison of greed. Greed is what I call it, because I don't think greed says enough, and some people call it attachment. I don't know that says it enough either. I call it the mind that says I, me, mine. It's our mind that is obsessed with getting more and is never satisfied and always wants more and more and more, right? Equanimity is our antidote for that. I might get the great promotion at work or I might not. I might get the nice car or I might not. And I could be okay either way. It's our sense of having enough. So, I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to equanimity. Thank you for watching.